Hey y'all, I hope everybody had a good 2023. Mine was interesting. I had a near-death experience, which I'm not kidding, but I'll go into that later because it's inspired a booktube video actually. But I also had a lot of dental work done, so I don't want to get this out of the way because you'll notice, address the elephant in the room. I don't know if you noticed on my previous videos, but I was actually last year getting a bit of a lisp, and it honestly didn't bother me. I thought it was actually kind of cute, but it got worse to where I could actually not really say words with, I couldn't say sh. Anything with S-H, S-T. See, it's kind of hard for me because there's too much air going through the gap. And it turns out the orthodontist said I'm a tongue thruster, which sounds like a porn name, quite frankly. I always thought it was because my tongue is so long and it rests on the top of my mouth that it would cause, you know, an overbite. But actually my jaw, not only do I tongue thrust, but my jaw is like this instead of being like this. So they had to, not only do I have a Visalign now, they put two screws, like a screw up here and a screw up here. Yeah, I paid a man to do what they do to people on the movie Hostel, except I got Novocaine. But then I have to put a band on each one up here. And I have to wear this like 22 hours a day. So I'm only telling you that because obviously it's there. But also there's some words that might be hard for me to say when I speak about books. But it's fine. It is what it is. It could be worse. You know, I'll deal with it. So for my first video of 2024, I was going to do the best books I read in 2023. I read 101 books, and I have a lot of good ones, but out of nowhere today, the position of this bookshelf really bugs me, and I'm wondering if I could change it. Now, I've already dusted these guys and my other bookshelf, and I'm not gonna lie, I really don't feel like dusting this one. The motivation to get there just wasn't there. But then I thought, never done a bookshelf tour. I think it would be fun to take you guys with me. And also as a reward at the end, we are going to be opening a blind date with a book. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but I was at the boutique store the other day, a local one, and I saw these. Look, isn't that pretty? And then I also got another one. This one's a thriller suspense, and we'll read the clues together on the card. I'm only going to pick one, and I don't know which one yet. So let's get started with the bookshelf tour. But at first, Steve wants to say hi. Skeleton Steve, if you've never met him, he guards my bookshelves. He's my buddy. All right, we're going to start at my door. There's, say hi to Sherlock, closet, which has a bookshelf in there. And then that one is mainly my horror, Alice, poetry, Harry Potter. There's Steve. He says hey. He's guarding. He's cute but creepy. And then there's the bookshelf I want to kind of fix. I don't know, I may still end up liking it cat corner though, because my whole concept was right when you walk in my room, I like the bed to be the focal point, and in the center, and I'm worried if the books are facing out this way, it's going to be a little bit too much. But right when I walk in, I kind of like being able to see just a hint of books, not just the side of a bookshelf when I walk in. But what's annoying me lately is I can't really get down here because of this, but that holds my vintage horror. And then in the corner are some just like a coffee table book or two, and then my parasol and my sword. And you need to be able to get to those. Yes, I'm serious. So let's just go ahead and pull, I'll get a stool. Let me get up there. Okay, so I have a little bookworm that my niece made for me. There is a photo from the Wizard of Oz theme park, and a Charleston mug, a Titanic cup and saucer, Tay-Tay. There's actually two pictures in there, but they're family members, and since I don't have permission to show their faces, I took those out. But a cute little shoe. See, yeah, look at that dust. There's Belle, Tay-Tay, I said already. And then this is, I kept the wine bottle because this is from Biltmore when they were having the they had costumes like the wardrobe from Pride and Prejudice displayed there, so I went and I got to see that, and then they had a special wine bottle. All right, I'm gonna take all these knickknacks off and then bring down the books. Oh, and this is my sister and her family gave me this when they went to Disney World, a Cinderella sort of journal kind of thing, but it's so pretty I don't really want to use it, so I display it on there. And I have a Jane Austen action figure I found at a family bookstore. She has a, that's Pride and Prejudice book. And then I think there's a quill. And here is Peter Pan. Nice edition. So cute. And The Secret Garden. Isn't that pretty? And then when I went to Salem, I actually went to the House of Seven Gables. So I got the book from there, and it actually has on the inside where it says purchased at. And I think I kept a map and everything too. Yeah, there was like a map. So that was cool. And here's a close-up of the wine bottle from Pride and Prejudice. The library series, Biltmore Estate. And these are the Barnes & Noble editions of Hans Christian Andersen, The Complete Fairy Tales, Wizard of Oz, The Chronicles of Narnia. Those are beautiful. And this one has gold gilded. I need to dust these. Look at that dust. Oh my goodness. This one's probably terrible because this one has green. I do love that. Yeah, you need to get dusted too. And The Chronicles of Narnia. Oh, beautiful. All right. Oh, sorry if this grosses any of you people out, but this is the reality of being a bookworm. You gotta take care of the bookshelves, gotta take care of the books. I'm sure I could be better at it too. Oh. And also to make small talk too. Hopefully I'll get better this year because we are actually building a she shed. We're just not fully done yet. But part of the reason I don't post as much is, number one, this is not my house. And I love my niece and nephews to death. But they are all under the age of 10, and when they come over, it's pretty loud here, so I basically just can't really film if they're here. But once we get the she shed built, then I could film out there, hopefully, when they're over. And then the other thing, too, is that I do not have a set schedule at my job. So it's hard for me to be like, I could post every Tuesday, Thursday, because I don't even know when I have off. That kind of thing. And also real talk too. You know, I didn't really start BookTube because to be famous or get rich or anything like that. It was, you know, to have people to talk to about books. So if I don't get like a ton of comments, it doesn't, you know, conversations, it doesn't really motivate me to keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to sound, but like, I really appreciate comments and stuff, is basically what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really feel like an online book club if I'm just making these and no one's talking back. So I really do appreciate like any comments that y'all leave. It motivates me to come back and be like, hey, what are you reading? That kind of thing. All right, one shelf down, and let's move on to the next one. Now this is mostly classics, contemporary, and romance. I don't read a lot of that, which is why I could kind of take up one shelf. But I do have Fangirl and Carry On, and it is weird because the supernatural girl in me, this is my thought process. Carry On, Wayward Son, and then I got the third book back there. I didn't intend to get the third book because I've only read these two, but my Barnes & Noble was moving locations, so I got that book really cheap, so I decided to get it. But I actually got this book first because I liked the color. But I read this one first and then realized I, made me want to read this one, and I actually liked it. But yeah, I've read these two. All right, let's see what else we have here. There's Belle's Library and Wednesday's Library, the Addams Family. I've read both of those. Those are amazing. And then this is Anna Green Gables series, only the first 3. So these editions, love them. They're gorgeous. But I could not for the life of me find them all. There was a couple missing. I checked everywhere. So I ended up giving away like the other 2 that I owned because I couldn't complete the set. But I kept these 3 because they're so pretty. And I love the way they look on my shelf. And this is old iPhone cases. I don't know what y'all do with them. I love that Audrey one though, Loinda. But like, even though I got a new phone, I still keep them. The ones I really like. This is my edition of Pride and Prejudice. This is Puffin. And my favorite colors are like blue, white, green, pink, gray. And I like lace. So this is like my favorite, my favorite cover like ever of Pride and Prejudice that I found. And I haven't really seen any other booktubers with this one. So I don't remember where I got it. There is a Audrey Hepburn International Cover Girl. So this just shows like pictures of her on covers throughout the world. I love this one. This is definitely a keeper. Which, speaking of, there's nothing wrong with, you know, being a, what do you call it, a book hoarder. I don't think there's such a thing, really, in a way. But I will not be unhauling any of these books. If I haven't read these books, I know what's on these shelves, even though they are double stacked. I know what's on here. And I will read every single one, even if the ones I have not read, I want to read. So there will be no unhauling in this video. This is just I call them fortune cookie decks, where you kind of just draw a card and get a good message kind of thing. Inspirational decks, whatever you want to call them. And like I said, I don't read romance that often, but I like to have stuff. Horror is my favorite. Will always be. But I do like to read. I like to have options on my shelves. So you never know what you're in the mood for. So I like to have different options. Now, Lions and Lace is one of my favorites from when I was like in high school, I think. So I've read that many times. I'm not going to lie, this one I got because of the cover. The Scott, The Witch in the Wardrobe by Annette Blair. I haven't read it yet. And then I got these recently just because it's Harlequin. Castle of the Wolf by Margaret Moore. And Carol Howie, Sheik's Promise. I don't even remember what that one. Oh, I got this recently when I went to the mountains on my birthday from a local bookstore. They were actually giving away free books too. And this is a bookmark I made. Kind of like vintage Victorian. I like to match my bookmarks with the type of book I'm reading. Does that make sense? Does anybody else do that? And then up here. Oh, this is the one I got on that birthday bookstore too. The Ladies of Miscellany. Oh, and these are some Barbara Cartlands. I don't know if any of y'all have heard of her. She was a romance writer. I forgot what year. But really famous romance writer. A Ghost in Monte Carlo. Really good. A Gamble with Hearts. I haven't read any of these. And I actually have a whole bunch of these in the attic. And they don't really need to be stored there. I was a chit from a present from my old boss. We have Forbidden, which is pretty famous. I haven't, by Tabitha Suzuma. That's hard for me to say. I haven't read that yet. And Lost in London, Cindy Callahan. And Lost in Ireland. And then this one is kind of, I think it just went there because that's the only place I had to put it. Sidney Mackenzie Knocks Him Dead. It's kind of more of a, but I think I kind of just want to keep the author together, even though this is kind of more horror in a way. My favorite animal is the wolf. A Wolf Called Wander. I couldn't resist this. Roseanne Perry. Sorry, I'll try to speed this up. It's my first time doing this. This, A Rose in Winter, I actually have read. Kathleen E. What's her name? Woodwis? This was actually really good. I like this book. See, I like to read romance when it's like, I just don't like, if I'm not reading a romance book, I don't like it when romance overtakes the plot. Like if I wanted to read romance, I'll choose a romance, you know. The Accidental Beauty Queen by Terry Wilson. Unleashing Mr. Darcy by Terry Wilson. That's cute. Breakfast at Tiffany's. What Would Audrey Do? I have read this. I like that book. You saw the author, Pamela something. This was actually really good. The Confession of Fitzwilliam Darcy, a novel by Mary Street. This was actually a really good book. And then I have Coffee at Luke's. Wow, sorry. Gilmore Girls. Jennifer Cruzy. And then we have a Harlequin, another one, To Catch a Ghost by Day LeClaire. I have read this one. And it was, so I was like, I went to the store, thrift store, a local one. And I was like, I'm going to get a book because it's cheap. I'm in the mood for a romance. I'm going to vendor out of my, you know, I was reading a lot of horror. So I was like, let me go get a romance. And what do I choose? To Catch a Ghost. Like, you could take the horror out of the girl. I didn't stray too far. There's some jade and some, I think that's moonstone. I'm earthy. I like rocks and gemstones. A little lotus flower. My desk is getting crowded. And there's another inspiration deck. This one is very Alice in Wonderland-y. It's really cute. There's the Fairy Handbook. Oh, this is a pretty one. This caught my eye at Barnes & Noble. And it has silver gilded. Which I'm not one of those that's too gung-ho on like gilded pages. Personally, like, I think it could be a bit overdone. I don't want too much of it. And sometimes the gilding like rubs off too. This is a gorgeous book. Look at that. But I know other people really, you know, it won't make it or break it if a book doesn't have gilded pages. But I do appreciate it sometimes. There's Beauty and the Beast. I think this is Barnes & Noble. I want to say it's where I got this from. This one has a lot of fun stuff in it that you could, nice fun edition. So this is the complete Jane Austen. Because of those pictures. Alrighty. Oh, and that's a bookmark I made. It's a velvet bookmark with a little bow. I just thought it looked cute in there. Alright. What's up here? Oh, yeah, I know. Shipwrecked. I read this in, like, middle school, I think. That's a good book. Never-Ending Story. Hatchet, which is an excellent book. The Blue Castle. Really good. The False Princess. The Little Bookshop of Love Stories. I haven't read this one yet. I've read those two. Secrets of, this was from the dollar store. Honestly, that's just really cute cover. The Summer of Cotton Candy. This was a cute book. But the other covers aren't as cute. If you, like, what I got, what I was buying offline, I forgot what website, was not the cover that I got. And they weren't cute, so. Lord of the Flies. I love that book. Oh, who doesn't love The Outsiders? Missy Hinton. Get my bookmark off. Oh, this thing is so messed up now. It's been folded in there. Here's Bells, which I have read many years ago, but did not continue on the series, even though I liked it. Rebel Bell. I actually read this and actually thought it was actually pretty cute. Beneath the Glitter by Ellen Blair Fowler. Wild Beauty. My Fair Lady. I love that cover. And Sass and Serendipity.